The Seventh Guest is a cinematic puzzle game released by Virgin Interactive Entertainment in 1993 for DOS and later for other various platforms. Along with Myst, it greatly accelerated the adoption of CD-ROM drives. In this game, you traverse a mansion using pre-rendered graphic transitions. At the time, it was easy to think your computer was processing this, as it was not a technique that existed before. This was not possible without the use of a CD-ROM. In The Seventh Guest, you play as an amnesiac who wakes up in a mansion. You see ghostly apparitions depicting a party held in the 1930s. They have been invited by mansion owner Henry Stauff, a toy tycoon with a mysterious past. Stauff is not immediately present, but he lingers over the proceedings. 6 people have been invited and have been left puzzles that reveal what Stauff wants of them and what he promises in return. You follow the major events of the night. The gameplay consists entirely of searching the house for puzzles and completing them. The more puzzles you solve, the more doors unlock. There are some hidden areas of the house that are easily found if you do even a half-hearted search of the screen. If you enjoy puzzles, there is a lot to like here. They range from mildly challenging to extremely difficult, but are always engaging. It is up to you to determine how they work and what the goal is. Cheesy voiceovers will offer you hints. Once you enter a room with a puzzle, a video will play, and after you finish, another will advance the story. But The Seventh Guest was not designed for people to play puzzles. It was not even primarily designed to be a game.
It's a game!
Alright. Its purpose, above all else, was to show off the CD-ROM format and how it could deliver what was previously impossible. From video, to vibrantly colored images, to dialogue, to overly elaborate animations, this Seventh Guest was an art director's most self-indulgent fever dream. Now that the novelty is gone, this opulence simply creates barriers to enjoying what gameplay there actually is. Some puzzles are bogged down obscenely because of the elaborate animations. A puzzle involving knight chess pieces is the worst example. Every single time you move a knight around the board, you watch an animation that is 7.6 seconds long. Even when you optimally solve the puzzle, it will require at least 58 moves. I know this because I resorted to a walkthrough simply because I couldn't stand to keep wasting time. Doing the math, that's almost 8 minutes of watching the same animation repeatedly, at the absolute minimum. To make it worse, Stauff mocks you for taking so much time as you play.
Don't take all night.
Hey, I didn't design this. These same voice lines repeat over and over to the point of annoyance. Stauff's actor will mock you with lines prolonged by an actor engorging himself on a ham.
Become a grave digger now, have we?
You can't make any moves while audio plays. These issues persist to varying degrees in every single puzzle. As you search the house, you will find special icons that play what are supposed to be spooky animations of the weird objects in the mansion. Its MIDI music sounds old and wacky and actively detracts from the dread. The Seventh Guest is at its closest to being scary when the music is absent. The acting in its video scenes is worse than lousy community theater.
I heard singing upstairs, like some mad choir.
You can largely go about puzzles in any order you like. As a result, its story is undercut by the confusion of cutscenes playing out of chronological order. The characters will seemingly die and then show up later. It's very hard to figure out what exactly is going on. The actor depicting Stauff hams it up to a point of high comedy, but doesn't approach anything remotely terrifying.
Now the sacrifice must come from you.
Some elements make little sense. A ghostly apparition of a woman glides through the house, occasionally leading you to puzzles. The problem is this woman doesn't exist in the story. She appears and then disappears mid-game without any explanation. The acting overall deserves specific mention. I hesitate to judge too harshly, since everyone from the actors to the designers were figuring this out on the fly. But the acting is so bad as to be pleasantly entertaining in a B-movie sort of way.
Help me! Someone please help me!
Get up.
I can't
Run
move.
away.
I can't. I looked over here and...
But since the seventh guest presents itself as a horror game, it's worth mentioning because there is very little scary here. The seventh guest was a tremendous accomplishment in technology and essentially set the CD-ROM on course to be the standard format for games for many years to come. At the time it was a classic, but it has aged like milk. If you really like puzzles and bad acting, there's a good time here for you, but expect a few obstacles.